What if I told you that the harder you try to solve your biggest problems, the further away the answers get? We live in a world that tells us to constantly hustle, stress, and fight our way to a solution. But sometimes, doing exactly the opposite is the only way to win. Listen to this. Once upon a time, a wealthy merchant dropped a priceless gold coin into a shallow pond. Word spread fast, and soon the entire village rushed to the water's edge. Driven by greed and desperation, they jumped right in. They frantically splashed around, dug their hands into the dirt, and brought buckets to try and drain the pond. But their chaotic, rushed movements only kicked up the mud from the bottom. Within minutes, the once clear pond turned into a thick, dark brown sludge. The harder they searched, the murkier the water became, until it was completely impossible to see anything at all. After hours of exhausting, useless labor, the villagers gave up, covered in mud and completely defeated. They climbed out. But sitting quietly under a nearby tree was a young boy. He hadn't panicked. He hadn't rushed into the water. He had simply sat there, watching. Once the frustrated villagers finally left, the boy walked up to the edge of the pond and sat down again. He did nothing. He just waited. Slowly, the undisturbed water began to calm. The dirt drifted back down to the bottom. Within a few hours, the water was crystal clear once again. And there, glimmering perfectly at the bottom, was the gold coin. The boy simply reached his hand in and picked it up. Your mind is exactly like that pond. When you face a difficult problem in life, it is so easy to panic, to overthink, and to let anxiety stir up the mud. We frantically search for solutions, but our chaotic, rushing thoughts only make the answers harder to see. The gold coin is your clarity. It is the answer you've been looking for. But you cannot find answers in a mind filled with chaos. Sometimes, the absolute most productive thing you can do is step back, take a deep breath, and just wait. Stop forcing it. Let the mud of your anxiety settle. Because when you finally allow yourself to find peace, your mind will clear. And the answers, they will be right there waiting for you.